So, this Jalduta diary is actually a personal account of the challenging journey which Srila Prabhupada took to fulfill his life's mission, which was given to him by his Guru Maharaj. And this is actually history of ISKCON also, because this is how the International Society for Krishna Consciousness started. And it shows Srila Prabhupada's devotion, his faith, and what is the reason why he became so successful. His utter dependence on Lord Shri Krishna and how he overcame all the adversities. So, in this diary, in August 1965, on Thursday 12th, he writes an entry in which he says to start for USA by MV Jalduta from Calcutta Port, King George Dockyard. On February 13th, he writes, today at 9 am, embarked on MV Jalduta. Came with me Bhagwati, the Darban of Sindhia, and Mr. Sen Gupta, Mr. Ali, and Brindavan. Brindavan is his son. The cabinet is quite comfortable, as Prabhupada writes. It's honors residence, and therefore the sitting room, the bedroom and bath and privy all equipped with first class material. Everything is nice in the first class compartment. Thanks to Lord Shri Krishna for his enlightening Srimati Sumati Morarji for all these arrangements. I am quite comfortable. So Prabhupada, even in that small stuffy cabin, he writes that he is comfortable and he is taking time to thank Lord Shri Krishna that he has enlightened Srimati Morarji. Now ship started at 1:30 p.m. very slowly from the dock and reached near Botanical Garden and stopped at midstream of Ganges till 11 p.m. and then turned toward the front and started it. It is quite steady. I cannot understand in my cabin that it is at all moving. I am so comfortable. The voyage was again stopped at 3:30 am at Kalpi near Diamond Harbour, and then he has written some names and detained for 8 hours. The delta of the Ganga quite wide with shallow water. On Saturday 14th, he writes that ship started about 11 o'clock in the morning majestically. I do not feel any jerking whatsoever. But on reaching the Bay of Bengal, there is tilting of ship and little rolling also. The roughness increased gradually on the upper Bay of Bengal and I feel seasickness. There was vomiting tendency and dizziness, and I felt uncomfortable whole day and night. The sea was foamy all through. It appeared like a big plate of water extending to 40 square miles, but factually it was endless. So today, it is a vivid example of God's Maya because it appears like something, but factually it is something else. So now on Saturday 14th, he has some seasickness and still he is thinking about Lord Krishna and Maya Devi and correlating it with that. On Sunday the 15th, in the morning I woke up and felt a little better, but I felt no hunger. Took only a glass of lemon shikanji, lemon drink with nimbu pani, but the head dizziness is continuing. Up to 10:30 I was in the captain's room, radio room, chatting with the officer. In the radio room they were dispatching news to other ships. The captain's room is full with nautical paraphernalia. I saw a chart of different apparatus and photo of the sea. The grades are 0 to 10 degree and I think we are passing on through sea between 4 to 7 points. The scene of the 10th point was furious and 12th serious. Captain advised me to take more solid food. Now came Monday 16th. Today early in the morning I saw that ship is flying in the surface of sea almost on 0 degree of waves. Yesterday night was comfortable, and although I did not take my lunch, I took a little chana and murki, that is puffed rice with chivda with milk. The ship ran all the night yesterday smoothly in the sky, although not clear was moonlight in the night. Then on Tuesday 17th, he says that today morning the sky is scattered with cloud and ship is going toward western side. I felt a little bit well and the ship is running against wind current. The sea is little rougher. Then on Wednesday 18th, it is quite normal. Seasickness is completely removed. On Thursday 19th, He informed his situation to Captain Pandya, and he was very kind me to take to the shore on the motor launch because the ship was actually standing in the midstream. And then we dropped at Elizabeth Gate, and he was in Ceylon actually. And in taxi we went to the office of the Narottam and Pereira company. And then on Friday 20th, arranged for meeting on board on account of Janmashtami, and I spoke for an hour on the philosophy and teachings of Lord Sri Krishna. So Srila Prabhupada was celebrating Janmashtami on Jaldutta also. All the officer attended the meeting, and there was distribution of prasadam also. The matter was radiographed to Srimati Sumati Morarji in Bombay. They also sent that report to Srimati Morarji that we celebrated Janmashtami on ship. And then on Sunday 22nd at about 10 am we are now in the dockyard of Cochin. The dock is peculiar because it is by nature full of small islands. Some of the islands are full with nice hutment, formerly known as British Island. I saw my books from Bombay arrive in 5 cases. An agent loaded them on the ship at 4 p.m. on this date. The agent, Mr. Jairam and son, kindly sent their car for my driving in the city. So Prabhupada went to Cochin city and Ernakulam, and he saw some buildings also there. And then on Monday 23rd was Anand Ekadashi. So we started toward Red Sea on the western front. The sky was almost clear and there was sunshine since the start of the trip from the Cochin port. We are floating now on the Arabian Sea. My seasickness again began. Headache, vomiting tendency, no hunger, dizziness, and no energy to work. It is continuing. There are sometimes showers of rain, but for a short time. There was a fellow passenger in my cabin. He is also attacked with seasickness. The whole night passed. On Tuesday 24th at about 1:30 p.m. I inquired from wheel room that we have come only 400 miles of Indian coast. My seasickness is still continuing. I am taking my meals only once, but today I could not take my full meal also, although I was fasting yesterday. So Prabhupada on Monday 23rd had fasted completely for Ananda Ekadashi, although he was having lot of seasickness. So this is one teaching for us. On Wednesday 25th, then Tuesday 31st passed over a great crisis on the struggle for life and death. A separate statement has to be written on this crisis area. So Prabhupada was so ill that from Wednesday 25th to Tuesday 31st he couldn't write anything, and he said that separately I will write it. And then on September, the Wednesday 1st, they went to Suez Canal, Port Said, and then Port Said they started on Friday 3rd. And then there was a rehearsal for emergency on 4th, and on 5th there was a cloudy, foggy weather, and on Monday 6th, finally Prabhupada took some khichdi and kadhi. It was tasteful and pushed toward the renewed energy little by little. On Tuesday 7th there was Varaha Ekadashi, so he celebrated that also. And on Wednesday 8th at about 8 o'clock in the morning near about Gibraltar, we had a first experience of fog impediment. It was all dark around the ship and it stopped moving completely, whistling now and then to protect herself from other unseen ship being collided. So they were in very much dangerous condition. And then on Tuesday 9th, we had crossed over the Atlantic Ocean for 24 hours. The whole day was clear and almost smooth. I am taking my food regularly, got some strength to struggle. There is slight lurching of the ship and I am feeling slight headache, but I am struggling. And the nectarian life of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita is the source of all my vitality. So Prabhupada, all his journey was reading Chaitanya Charitamrita also. He was celebrating all the festivals also. So on Friday 10th he says that today's ship is flying very smoothly. I feel better today, but I am feeling separation from Sri Vrindavan and my Lord Sri Govinda Gopinath Radha Damodar. The only solace is Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, in which I am tasting the nectarian of Lord Chaitanya's Leela. I have left Bharat Bhumi just to execute the order of Sri Bhakti Siddhant Saraswati in pursuance of Lord Chaitanya's order. I have no qualification, but I have taken up the risk just to carry the order of His Divine Grace. I depend fully on their mercy so far away from Vrindavan. So on Friday 10th, he is remembering Vrindavan. On Saturday 11th, he writes that today the ship ran very smoothly, the sky was clear and there was sunshine all the day. About 7:30 in the morning, we passed the Azore group island under the Portuguese Republic. There was again rehearsal for live boat saving and rehearsal for fire brigades also. Then on Saturday 12th, great deal of lurching, although sky is clear. Mrs. Pandya, although a little lady but very intelligent and learned also, she had foretold about my future. Thanks to her prediction, all the blessings of Lord Krishna for her, the crisis which I supposed to have crossed is also mentioned by her. If I have crossed the crisis, then that is God's will of Lord Krishna, my friend and philosopher. In the evening, there was too much lurching and I felt bit seasickness. I could not take my food properly. Little sweet were accepted with some relish. Lurching continued till midnight. On Monday 13th, today is the 32nd day of our journey from Calcutta. After midnight yesterday, lurching decreased and I felt relief. In the morning also, I could not take my breakfast properly. Then I cooked some charchari and it appeared to be delicious and I was able to take some of it. Today is the 33rd day of our journey. At 3 o'clock in the morning, I saw sky cloudy with dim moonlight. From morning till 1 o'clock, the sky remained cloudy. At 1:30, there was shower of rain. The sky is still cloudy and wind is blowing from southeast. And the chief engineer, Mr. Travers, told me that he had never such experience of calm and quietness of the Atlantic Ocean. There was always typhoon, cyclone, fog, at least for days in every trip in the past, and I said that it is Lord Krishna's grace. If such things are usual in Atlantic, as they are usual in Atlantic, would have taken place, I would die. So on Tuesday 14th, he writes that if Atlantic would have shown his complete face as in other voyages, Srila Prabhupada would have died. So today is the 34th day of our journey. As usual, I rise up at 3 am and I went to veranda and I saw sky almost clear. So it's point to be noted, Prabhupada was on Jalduta, not in good shape, but still he was waking up at 3 am. Still he was observing all the fast. Still he was reading Chaitanya Charitamrita. He had just suffered 2 heart attacks. So this is good inspiration for all of us. And there was rainfall at interval, but at 4 o'clock the sky became clear and there was bright sunshine. I was engaged in reading Kaliya Daman Leela from Srimad Bhagavatam, especially the prayer by Nagapatni and the last appealing prayer by Kaliya. So Prabhupada is reading now Bhagavatam. On Thursday 16th, today is the 35th day of our journey, and yesterday night at about 10:30 we have turned one wheel toward northeastern corner from Bermuda latitude toward the Boston port. In the morning the atmosphere was fairly clear and ship was flying very smoothly. The first officer told me that they never had such experience of Atlantic Ocean and he ascribed the good luck to me. I said yes, it is all Lord Krishna's grace, because due to my severe type of seasickness, he himself has taken the charge of the ship. And in expansion, the Lord is rowing the oars and we shall certainly reach to America port safely. The whole day was very clear sunshine, but at 4 p.m. all of a sudden became foggy. The sun became dim, covered by foggy weather. Horizon is still visible. Let's see what is still ahead. Ship is stopped completely at 6 p.m. on account of dense fog. Be Lord Krishna pleased to get out of this fog. By the grace of Lord Krishna, the fog was cleared, and after 2-3 hours the ship started. The whole night was non-disturbing, and today is the 36th day of our journey. We reached safely Boston port at 5:30 a.m. Friday the 17th. We are now on the dockyard of Boston, and at 10 a.m. the custom officer and another came on the ship. They have now issued the admittance permission. After due checking, I saw the Boston town with captain. It is very nice, and I shall describe it in separate note. 36th day from starting from Calcutta port today. We are expected to reach Boston port, USA in the morning. We stayed the whole day and night at Boston till 4 p.m. next day. Saturday the 18th. Today is the 37th day of our journey, and at 4 p.m. we left Boston port for New York. In the morning I had telephonic talk with Gopal P. Agarwal in Butler, and he said that his men will receive me at New York and dispatch me to Butler by bus or train as convenient. I tried to contact Dr. Mishra, but he was not available both yesterday and today. I do not know if he is coming to receive me. Today I met two American nice gentlemen, Mr. Gardner and Fryer. We passed a beautiful canal and crossed underneath two overbridges. But at midnight there was considerable fog disturbance and ship moved very slowly. The fog persisted till we reached late at New York port at 12:30 on 1965. Today the 38th day of our journey, and we reached New York port at 12:30 p.m. about 3 hours later than the scheduled time. So this is how Prabhupada's Jalduta entries stopped. Then he wrote a prayer while he just reached and he was still on board ship Jalduta on September 13th, 1965. That was Monday. That was 32nd day of his journey. And there he wrote, कृष्ण तवा पुण्य हबे भाई ए पुण्य करीबे जबे राधा रानी खुशी हबे ध्रुवा अति बोली तुम्हार ताई. So I emphatically say to you, O brothers, you will obtain your good fortune from the Supreme Lord Krishna only when Srimati Radha Rani becomes pleased with you. Sei Siddhanta Saraswati Sachisut Priya Ati Krishna se boy jara tolanai. Sei se मोहंत गुरु जगत तेरा माधा उरु कृष्ण भक्ति देई थाई थाई. Sri Srimad Bhakti Siddhant Saraswati Thakur, who is very dear to Lord Gauranga, the son of Mother Shachi, is unparalleled in his service to the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. He is that great saintly spiritual master who bestows intense devotion to Krishna at different places throughout the world. By his strong desire, the holy name of Lord Gauranga will spread throughout all the countries in the Western world, in all the cities, towns and villages on the earth, from all the oceans, sea, rivers and streams. Everyone will chant the holy name of Krishna. So here Prabhupada had already predicted what will happen in just 10 years. As the vast mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu conquered all the direction, a flood of transcendental ecstasy will certainly cover the land. When all the sinful, miserable living entity become happy, the Vaishnava desire is then fulfilled. Although my Guru Maharaj ordered me to accomplish this mission, I am not worthy or fit to do it. I am very fallen and insignificant. Therefore, O Lord, now I am begging to you mercy that I may become worthy, for you are the wisest and most experienced of all. तुम्हारा से शक्ति पहले गुरु सेवाए वस्तु मिले जीवन सार्थक जदि होए. सेई से सेवा पहला ताहल सुखी हला तोबा संग भगयत मिलोय. If you bestow your power by serving the spiritual master, one attains the absolute truth. One's life becomes successful. If that service is obtained, then one becomes happy and get your association due to good fortune. My dear Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, because of my association with material desire, one after the another, I was gradually falling into a blind well full of snakes, following the general populace. But your servant Narad Muni kindly accepted me as his disciple and instructed me how to achieve this transcendental position. Therefore, my first duty is to serve him. How could I leave his service? This is a prayer by Prahlad Maharaj to Lord Narsingh Dev, which Srila Prabhupada quotes in his poem. Then he says, O Lord Krishna, you are my eternal companion. Forgetting you, I have suffered the kicks of Maya birth after birth. If today the chance to meet you occurs again, then I will surely be able to rejoin you. Oh dear friend, in your company I will experience great joy once again. In the early morning, I will wander about the covered pastures and fields, running and frolicking in the many forests of the Vraja. I will roll on the ground in the spiritual ecstasy. Oh, when will that day be mine? So in Jalduta, he is remembering Vrindavan, and he is remembering that he will play with Lord Krishna. Today, that remembrance of you come to me in a very nice way, because I have great longing. I call to you. I am your eternal servant, and therefore I desire your association so much. O Lord Krishna, except for you, there is no other means of success. Then, when he reached at Boston Harbor on September 18, he wrote another poem, which we all have heard. Boro kripa koilo Krishna adhamerapati ke lagainal hetha koro evagati. My dear Lord Krishna, you are so kind upon this useless soul, but I do not know why you have brought me here. Now you can do whatever you like with me. But I guess you have some business here, otherwise why would you bring me to this terrible place? Most of the population here is covered by material modes of ignorance and passion. Absorbed in the material life, they think themselves very happy and satisfied. Therefore, they have no taste for the transcendental message of Vasudeva. I do not know how they will be able to understand it, but I know your causeless mercy can make everything possible, because you are most expert mystic. How will they understand the mellows of devotional service? Oh Lord, I am simply praying for your mercy so that I will be able to convince them about your message. All living entities have become under the control of the illusory energy by your will, and therefore, if you like, by your will, they will also be released from the clutches of illusion. I wish that you may deliver them. Therefore, if you so desire their deliverance, then only will they be able to understand your message. The words of Srimad Bhagavatam are your incarnation, and if a sober person repeatedly receives it from a submissive oral reception, then he will be able to understand your message. So what Srila Prabhupada is saying, that I am just repeating your message. Now it is up to you whether you want me to become successful or not. That's why he quotes from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, second chapter, 17 to 21st shlokas. And he says that Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is the Paramatma in everybody's heart and the beneficiary of the truthful devotee, cleanses desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed the urge to hear the message, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. By regular attendance in class on Bhagavatam, and by rendering service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental song, is established as an irrevocable fact. As soon as irrevocable loving service is established in the heart, the effect of the nature's mode of passion and ignorance, such as lust, desire, and hankering, disappear from the heart. Then the devotee is established in the goodness, and he becomes completely happy. Thus established in the mode of unalloyed goodness, the man whose mind has been enlivened by the contact with the devotional service to the Lord gains positive scientific knowledge of the personality of Godhead in the stage of liberation from all material association. Thus the knot in the heart is pierced, and all misgivings are cut to pieces. The chain of fruitive action is terminated, and when one sees the self as the master, he will become liberated from the influence of mode of ignorance, passion, and thus all inauspicious things accumulated in the core of heart will disappear. How will I make them understand the message of Krishna consciousness? I am very unfortunate, unqualified, and most fallen. Therefore, I am seeking your benediction so that I can convince them, for I am powerless to do so on my own. Somehow or other, O Lord, you have brought me here to speak about you. Now, my Lord, it is up to you to make me a success or failure as you like. O spiritual master of all the words, I can simply repeat your message. So if you like, you can make my power of speaking suitable for their understanding. Only by your causeless mercy will my words become pure. I am sure that when this transcendental message penetrates their heart, they will certainly feel gladdened and become liberated from all unhappy conditions of life. Oh Lord, I am just like a puppet in your hand. So if you brought me here to dance, then make me dance, make me dance. Oh Lord, make me dance as you like. अनियचो यदि प्रभु अमारा नचाते, नचाओ नचाओ प्रभु नचाओ से मते, कास्टेरा पोतली जाता नचाओ से मते. भक्ति नहीं वेदा नहीं, नाम खूब धरो, भक्ति वेदांत नाम एवे सार्थक करो. I have no devotion, nor do I have a knowledge, but I have a strong faith in the holy name of Krishna. I have been designated as a Bhakti Vedanta, and now, if you like, you can fulfill the real purport of Bhakti Vedanta. Signed, the most unfortunate, insignificant beggar, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami, on board the ship Jalduta, Commonwealth Pier, Boston, USA, dated 18 September 1965. Hare Krishna.